So I've been living paycheck to paycheck pretty much my entire life since I've been on my own. But I got a crazy, fun, awesome surprise. Without even knowing it, somehow I had saved over $30,000. And I did this with no apps, no financial plan, no budgeting, no investments, nothing like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I did, how I saved this money, and why this could be something for someone like me who doesn't really know much about finance and doesn't have a lot of extra money to invest. I am very bad with finances. To this day, even now, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I have no savings. I work full time, but I support my wife. I moved to Canada about 4 or 5 years ago from Japan. So a lot of money that I brought with me to the move pretty much disappeared because Toronto is a very expensive city with rent and expenses and one single income. It's very hard to make ends meet. So I basically I'm usually paycheck to paycheck, sometimes a little bit over, sometimes a little bit less, but definitely not able to save or invest or anything like that. The reason I'm telling you this is because I don't want to act like one of those people on the internet. There's a lot of people who say they made $30,000 in a year, or they make $10,000 a month or whatever it is. I'm not one of those kind of guru kind of people. I'm not a finance person. I'm not I'm not educated in any kind of financial banking or investing or anything like that. So this advice I'm going to give is pretty much basic, very introduction advice. It's only for people who are kind of like me, who don't really have a lot of money, who don't know much about investing. So if that's you, then this might be one of the things that might help you save some money. So I want to go back to first the 2004, 2005. At that time, I was just getting ready to go to Japan. I had started with a company called Eon, and they paid for my flight. They were gonna get me the apartment, so I didn't really have any money that I needed up front. And I remember I was selling my furniture and stuff, and there was this lady, this Chinese lady, I think her name was Windy. She was basically saying how, like, when she was like a teenager, she put like $50 or $100 aside, and now she was like 40 or something, and she had like, I don't know, 50,000 or something like that. So I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. So at this time, before I went to Japan, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna keep my Canada bank account open. I'm gonna leave like maybe $2,000 in the bank account, just in case, for emergency, if I ever come back or anything like that. But what I also did was I set up this thing, which I'm gonna be talking about now. What I did, which it takes about $100 a month. So that's about $1,200 a year. So I thought, okay, I'll try it for a year, to $1,200, and then I will see if I come back to Canada. Then I'll just put more money in if everything's going well, or if I don't think it's worth it, or I need the money, then of course I'll back out, and I just I'll use that money if I don't save it. So I decided to agree to set up this $100 that comes out every month from my bank account and goes to this account. I don't even remember the name of the company, to tell you the truth, and it's changed over the years. It's been like 2 different companies, but this is basically the plan I did to try to at least be an adult and try to save some kind of money. But I kind of forgot that $100 was coming out every month anyway. And when I checked, I realized, oh, I got this message from this company saying, oh, by the way, we now handle this account. We're the new company. So log in to find out, all the details of your account. And when I opened up the account, there was $31,000. And I was like blown away. And I tried to calculate, wait a minute, like how much did I actually put in? And I'll get to that in a second as well, but basically I put in maybe around $18,000 over the years, maybe about 15, 20 years. I don't even know how long I've been paying this for, but let's say about 20 years, I put in about $18,000 or so, and now it's at $31,000, so almost double. So that was crazy. So I was like, what the hell is going on? How did I make this money? And it was good because I know a lot of people say, you should just save it, leave it, put it in the account and just leave it, and it'll grow eventually. And I think this method is probably not the best method. I'm sure all those finance people, who are good at savings and making money and investing, they'll probably tell you, instead of putting it in this thing that I put it in, this account that I'm going to be talking about, they might say put it in a tax-free savings account or invest it or, buy RSPs or whatever. But those are also good options. Maybe that might have made me more money in the long run. But the reason I'm talking about this is because this is something that is kind of like beneficial for you in the long term. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to take this lady's advice, this lady Wendy. She was actually selling life insurance, but it wasn't just life insurance. It was like a life insurance slash savings investing combo. So basically what that meant is you would pay money every month. So I paid $100 a month. Out of that $100, only about 30 bucks, maybe 40 bucks would go into life insurance. So that life insurance policy was for $250,000, which means that if I died, if something happened to me, there would be $250,000 for life insurance that would be paid out. But that was $30 a month. And then the rest of the 70 or so would go into an account with that same company that would save it for me. And what they would do is they would invest it in their own portfolio of stocks. I'm sure this is a popular thing that a lot of insurance companies do. I didn't know about it at the time. Like I said, I'm not good with finances. Unfortunately, in high school, when they teach you about history and math and all this stuff, they don't teach you about investing or RSPs or how to make your money grow, that kind of stuff. I wish they had. I wish that's what school was about. Unfortunately, it's not. So I didn't know much about finances at all. So I decided I'm just going to, this lady seems like she knows what she's talking about. It was weird because it's not like someone I trusted. I just met her at like a furniture shop. But yeah, I decided to, sign up with this company. At the time, it was a life insurance company. I can't remember the name, maybe New York something. But over the years, it sold itself or, merged with other companies. And I think now it's under Ivari, I-V-A-R-I. So yeah, so I decided to keep the $100 going. And like I said, $30 or so would go to the policy, and the rest of the $70 would go to these investment stocks or whatever. And like I said, I forgot about it. I totally didn't even think that there would be that much. I mean, I knew I was paying $100 a month, so I was thinking, okay, $1,000 roughly a year, $1,200 a year, but maybe only about $800 would be invested because the rest would be going for the life insurance. So I thought maybe after 10 years, I have $8,000, and it's been 20 years, so maybe $16,000. So I was like, okay, I might have around $16,000, $15,000, but who knows with investments and stocks, and it goes up and down. So I said, maybe I might only have 10, 15,000. So I wasn't expecting to, log in to my account and see that I had over 31,000 something. And that was because not only was that $70 a month going for investing, but those investments were growing and the portfolio was growing, and just naturally everything goes up in stock market eventually. Like if you look at the S&P 500 and everything, over time it's just always been going up. There's dips, goes up and down, but overall it's always an upward trend. And I guess that's what happened with these investments. And so now I have 31,000. But what I want to talk about is not only this 31,000, I still have the 250,000 life insurance. So if something happens to me, if I get into an accident or I get sick or I pass away, something happens, my wife, Mayu, will get $250,000. Plus she'll get the 30,000, whatever. By then, who knows? Maybe it'll be 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. I don't know. So she'll get a bigger chunk. So I decided this is like a really good, way to save money without trying to save. Now, what's supposed to happen technically with this money is I'm supposed to keep paying the $100 a month, but I think the older I get, of course, the more expensive the life insurance part will go. So for example, maybe right now it's like maybe $50 a month, where I was $30 a month when I first started. And maybe when I turn 50 or 60, it's going to go up to $70 or $80, which means very little is being invested. And it's going to get to a point where it balances out, where the life insurance is going to cost more than the investment, which is the point where it's going to start eating away at the investment. So it's better to keep it in the system for a little bit longer, and then once it's not really, the investment is not really, growing and the life insurance is more than the cost that I'm investing, it's time to either take it out and reinvest it in something or borrow against it or something like that. I haven't quite figured out the details. If you guys know, maybe you can let me know in the information section what the next step is. But it's said to keep it in your in the account the way it is for maybe another 5 to 10 years, maybe around 55, around 55 or 60, and then reevaluate what you need to do with that money. Maybe at that time you can, take it out and put it into a tax-free savings account or invest it in other stocks or something like that. But for now, I'm keeping it the way it is. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I've been thinking about ghosting my job. I've been trying so many different things, side hustles. I've been doing affiliate marketing. I've, tried this and that, drop shipping, making this YouTube channel, newsletter, all this kind of stuff. And part of, I think part of the thing that a lot of people forget about ghosting your job is sometimes if you have, investments or real estate or, savings, that can also help you ghost your job. So it's a part of ghost your job that not a lot of people think about. They just think about the side hustles. But maybe one of the side hustles can be just trying to save a little bit of money each month and watch it grow. Of course, this is a long-term thing. You're not gonna be able to ghost your job in a year in this strategy, but hopefully this money that's 30,000, maybe it grows fast once it gets high. So maybe in like another 5 years, it might be 50,000. Another 10 years, it might be 100,000. And then it starts, compounding. And I think that's the kind of thing that might help me in the long run. Maybe not right now, but maybe I can still have an early retirement. I can maybe retire at 55 if things like this are helping me grow, even if I haven't completely ghosted my job. So I thought I would make this video just to show you guys that, sometimes there are alternate ways to make money, and sometimes there's ways to save money without even knowing it. Because as I said before, I've been going paycheck to paycheck pretty much all my life because I've been moving from Japan to Canada, back to Japan, back to Canada, from Vancouver to Toronto, just here and there. And it's always so expensive, costs moving from city to city, country to country. And even just the cost in Toronto right now, my rent is like 60% of my salary. So there's very little money with the inflation, gas prices, parking, insurance, like groceries, everything costs so much money right now. I'm almost not making things meet. I'm always usually just at the bare minimum, or sometimes I have to dip into like debt, like using credit cards and stuff. So it is tough, but knowing that this $50, $100 a month has been going towards a cause that saved me 30,000. Worst case scenario, if something goes wrong, I suddenly lose everything and I'm like on the verge of, like homelessness, I could withdraw that 30,000 and I would have that to live off of until I can get back on my feet. So it's always something good to have, like, because most people don't even have like $5,000 or whatever in case something happens in their life. They don't have any savings. So knowing I have this kind of security, safety net is kind of good. So yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to talk about today. Just wanted to let you know this kind of fun, interesting, happy surprise, because recently everyone has bad news, but this is kind of good news. So wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, then of course give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you have any other advice of what I should do with this fund or other funds, or what you guys do to invest or whatever, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, other than that, if you haven't seen my last video where I'm walking and talking about my 7 months on YouTube, you want to check it out here. Take care and see you in that video. Peace.